Welcome. In this video, we are discussing latch design in VLSI using CMOS circuits. So, this is a basic bistable circuit. It consists of two inverters, inverter 1 and inverter 2. So, if there are even number of inverters, then the circuit forms a bistable circuit. Whereas if there are odd number of inverters, then the circuit forms a oscillator. Because if there are odd number of inverters, the output will oscillate between two states. So here in this bistable circuit, the value of the D input. So D is the input here. So the value of this D input is held by the bistable circuit, which consists of the inverter pair. So as you can see, the output of inverter 1 is going to input of inverter 2 and the output of inverter 2 is going to the input of inverter 1. So this is a bistable circuit. So here the inverter 1 will detect the changes. So the output of inverter 1 is V bar, but the inverter 2 should not be so strong that it prohibits the change in state. So if the state of inverter 1 is changing, then the inverter 2 should be weak so that it does not prohibit the change in state. So inverter 1 is made by using a strong transistor or by using large transistors, and the transistors used for inverter number 2 are comparatively smaller. So the loading of this D input can be improved by using a transmission gate. So this is a transmission gate. So a transmission gate consists of a NMOS and PMOS transistors which are connected in parallel. And for the working of transmission gate, I have made a video. So you can check that video. I will give the link in the description box. So as you can see, this is the transmission gate. The input at the gate of the NMOS is X, and the input at the gate of the PMOS is X bar. So this is the transmission gate. So when X equal to 0, when X is equal to 0, X bar will be equal to 1. When X is equal to 0, then obviously X bar will be equal to 1. Then the transmission gate will act as the open switch, because here the NMOS will also be off and the PMOS will also be off. So this D input will be cut off. This D input will be cut off from the circuit. So the circuit will maintain the output. So in this case, when X equal to 0, X bar equal to 1, there is no input here. So Q bar will maintain itself, and Q will also maintain itself. So here the output is Q and here the output is Q bar. But if suppose X is equal to 1, if suppose X equal to 1, then X bar will be equal to 0. When X equal to 1, X bar will be equal to 0. So in this case, the transmission gate will conduct. The transmission gate will conduct, or the transmission gate will act as a closed switch. The transmission gate will act as a closed switch. So this D input will be transferred here. So the Q bar will be equal to D bar and Q will be equal to D. So in this case, you can see that the input X is like a enable circuit. So when X is equal to 1, it is enabling the loading of this circuit with the input D. Okay. And when X equal to 0, then the transmission gate cuts off the input from the circuit. So this bit X can be said to be the controlling bit, or it is equivalent to the enable signal. But these are slow circuits. So the disadvantage of this circuit is that it is a slow circuit. It is a slow circuit. Why? Because the bistable circuit tries to hold on to the charge, and it tries to hold on to the charge, and it tries to resist the change in the value of the charge. So how we can understand that? By suppose if D is equal to 0, if D equal to 0, then D bar will be equal to 1, and again the output of this inverter will be 0. But suppose if we change the value of D to 1, if we change the value of D to 1, now here it is 1, but here it is 0. So there is a change in the charge stored. There is a change in the charge stored, and this circuit will try to oppose this transition. This circuit will try to oppose this transition. So what is happening is that actually this feedback loop is trying to oppose the transition in the stored charge. So somehow we have to eliminate this feedback loop during the loading process. So for that we have due to this effect, this is a slow circuit. So the change of the state will take time. So the change from D equal to 0 or D equal to 1 will take time to reflect in the output. So that is made faster by using this circuit B and the circuit C. So the circuit B and circuit C are equivalent. The only thing is that here we are using two transmission gate, TG1 and TG2, and here we are using two NMOS FET, N1 and N2. Otherwise it is same. So here the transmission gate are acting as switches, and here also these NMOS are only acting as switches. So for one transmission gate we need two transistors. So here we have two transmission gates, so we need four transistors. But here we have only one transistor here and one transistor here. So designers prefer this circuit because this circuit uses less number of transistors. Only two transistors for this, and here we are using four transistors. The important thing to note is that both the switches are oppositely phased. These switches are also oppositely phased because here we have the gate, at the gate of this NMOS we have the input X bar, and the gate of this NMOS we have X. So these are oppositely phased. Here also at the gate of NMOS we have X, and at the gate of this NMOS we have X bar, and at the gate of this PMOS we have X, and at the gate of this PMOS we have X bar. So again these switches are oppositely phased. So as I told, B and C are equivalent circuits. Now let us try to understand the operation. So the advantage of adding this switch is that the feedback loop is broken during the transition phase. So suppose when x equal to 1, the loading of D input takes place. The loading of D input happens. So when x equal to 1, when x is equal to 1, then this N2 will be off. N2 will be off. So N2 will be open switch, and N1 will be closed switch. So we can remove this N2 because it is acting like an open switch. So again we can see that the circuit consists only of this transistor N1 and these two N1 and 2. So from here we have Q bar and there we have Q. So when x equal to 1, loading of D input take place. So Q bar will be equal to D bar and Q will be equal to D. So as you can see, the circuit is loaded with the D input when x equal to 1, and when x equal to 0. When x equal to 0, then obviously x bar will be equal to 1. So when x equal to 0, then N1 will be off. So N1 will act as open switch, and N2 will act as closed switch. So earlier what happened was, when x equal to 1, that is the loading of the D input took place, this feedback loop was absent from the circuit because N2 was acting like a open switch. So this feedback loop was absent from the circuit. But when x equal to 0, then N1 is acting as open switch. So now this D input is absent from the circuit, and N1 is acting like a closed switch. So now we only have the feedback loop in the circuit, and the input is cut off. So Q bar and Q will maintain their state, or they will hold on to the value of the charges. So this is called as holding state. This is called as holding state. When x equal to 0, x bar equal to 1. And when x equal to 1, x bar equal to 0, then we can see that it is a loading state. So the input D is loaded into the circuit when x equal to 1, because when x equal to 1, then N2 will act as open switch. So feedback loop is absent in this case. Feedback is cut off. There is no feedback when x equal to 1, because when x equal to 1, this N2 will act as open switch, so it will cut off the feedback loop. So this is the construction of a D latch using the NMOS transistors. Here also the concept will remain exactly the same. When x equal to 1, this TG2 will be open switch. When x equal to 1, this TG2 will be open switch. So again, D input will be loaded to the output. So Q bar will be equal to D bar and Q will be equal to D. Q bar will be equal to D bar and Q will be equal to D. And when x equal to 0, then this TG1 will be cut off from the circuit and only we will have this feedback loop. So the working is exactly same as the working of this circuit. Only the difference is that here we are using transmission gate and here we are using simple NMOS pass transistors. So thank you. I hope the video was clear to you and all your doubts were solved. Again, if you have any doubts, you can post your doubt in the comment box. Please like and share the video and subscribe the channel, and please share your feedback also. Thank you.